Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you all are good. In today's video, I'll be talking about preconception care and its importance. I know there are people out there who think preconception care only has to do with the woman, but that's not true. Preconception care has to do with both the man and the woman. So if you want to know what preconception care is all about and how it involves both parties, then please watch this video to the end. Okay, what's preconception care? Preconception care gives couples the opportunity to improve their health before they start trying out for a baby. Now I'm going to be sharing with you all some important components of preconception care. So the first component of preconception care I'll be talking to you all today is about the reproductive life plan. This reproductive life plan is a protocol that aims to encourage couples, that's both the man and the woman, to reflect on their reproductive intentions and to find successful strategies, that's family planning strategies, that will help them to have the number of children or pregnancies they want, and also to avoid unwanted pregnancies and those health conditions that will hinder reproduction. So this part of preconception care is all about planning ahead of time. Now the second component of preconception care talks about testing. There are some important tests that couples who are planning to have children need to be aware of. I'm going to be sharing with you guys 4 of these tests. Now the first test has to do with blood group. Now couples, for example, a man who has a Rhesus positive blood group getting married to a woman with a B Rhesus negative blood group, what is going to happen is there is going to be Rhesus Incompatibility. And this Rhesus Incompatibility is very important when it comes to pregnancy. Because when the woman is pregnant, there's a possibility that the baby in utero or in the womb can have a blood group which is different from that of the mother. So what will happen is the mother who has a different blood group will tend to produce antibodies that will fight against that of the baby. That is B positive for the mother, or maybe a negative blood group for the baby. There is going to be Rhesus Incompatibility. So the mother will produce antibodies that will in turn destroy the red blood cells of the baby. That's why some women during pregnancy tend to have missed abortions or miscarriages. So knowing your Rhesus factor before trying for a baby is very important. But technological advancements have made it possible that couples who have differences in their blood groups can still get married and have healthy children. This is because science have made a vaccine known as anti-D immunoglobulin. What this vaccine does is that it prevents the woman during pregnancy to produce antibodies that will fight against the red blood cells of the baby. Now this vaccine needs to be administered to the woman at 28 weeks of gestation. That's at 28 weeks of pregnancy. And it also needs to be administered within 72 hours after delivery. So this vaccine can ensure that the woman will have a healthy and successful pregnancy. Now the second test that couples need to be aware of is the Genotypic Test. This test creates an awareness that genes can be transferred from parents to children. I know there are couples out there who are very strict on what they want. They might be like, I don't want a baby with an albino, or I don't want a baby with sickle cell anemia. So this genotypic test will let you know whether you have the albinism gene or the sickle cell anemia trait. So it's very important that you go for this test if you are planning to have a baby. And then the third factor, or the third test that couples need to be aware of, is the fertility test. This test will help prevent stigmatization and problems in marriage. This test will have to do with testing for the viability or the quality of sperms or eggs. Or we can also test whether the fallopian tubes of a woman are open, because if the fallopian tubes are blocked, fertilization cannot occur. And it's also advisable that couples should go in for this fourth test, which is a screening of sexually transmitted infections like HIV, chlamydia, or gonorrhea, because these are infections that can be transmitted from mother to her baby. HIV, for example, science have also made it possible that HIV doesn't necessarily have to be transmitted from a mother to a baby. So proper protocols need to be followed in order to prevent HIV transmission from a mother to her baby. And sexually transmitted infections like chlamydia can also be transmitted from a mother to a baby, and this can cause blindness and other difficulties in the baby. So these tests are all very important. These are tests that couples who are planning to have children need to be aware of. And that being said, on the second component of preconception care, let's move now to the third component of preconception care, which has to do with immunization or vaccination. This component requires that couples who are planning to have children in future have to be immunized from certain diseases. They have to be vaccinated from certain deadly diseases like hepatitis B, for example. Hepatitis B is a disease that can be transmitted through sexual intercourse and infected body fluids. So this disease is very deadly, and it is advisable that couples should be vaccinated against this disease because it can also be transmitted by a mother to her baby. So it's very important for couples to be vaccinated against such diseases. The fourth component of preconception care is all about healthy weight and nutrition. And you should know that this component involves both spouses. It's not just the woman that needs to gain a healthy weight before conception. The man, for example, can be encouraging. What do I mean by being encouraging? If your wife wants to engage in daily activities, then help and support her by engaging in those daily activities with her so she can attain a healthy weight before conceiving. So it's very important. Now, in order to engage in a healthy weight, you need to start consuming meals that are high in dietary fibers. An example of such meals are green leafy vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. And it's also very important to consume folic acid before trying to conceive. This is why the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommends that women of reproductive age, that's from 15 to 45 years, need to consume at least 400 micrograms of folic acid daily. This is very important because folic acid will help prevent birth defects during pregnancy. Birth defects like neural tube defects and spinal disorders. So it's very important for women or couples who are trying to conceive to engage in consuming folic acid. So men, encourage your wives to consume folic acid because it's very important to prevent birth defects. The fifth component of preconception care is about behavioral risks. What do I mean by behavioral risks? Preconception care is going to help some couples who have difficulties in quitting those bad habits like smoking and consuming alcohol, because these habits have a detrimental effect to the health of the baby. This can cause the baby to come out with some long learning difficulties and brain damages. So preconception care is going to help couples to put aside such bad habits, because no amount of alcohol or cigarette is required for a pregnancy. Now, going on to the sixth component of preconception care, which has to deal with creating a healthy environment. Now, this component encourages couples who are trying to have a baby to avoid environments that are full of gender-based violence or environments like industries that can emit chemicals like lead. This is because such industries who emit these chemicals like lead can cause infertility issues in couples. And chemicals like lead can also cause neurological and brain damages to your baby. And we also have certain disease conditions like Toxoplasmosis, which is a parasite that is found in the feces of cat. So couples who live with cats and are trying to have a baby need to be very careful, because this parasite, which is found in the feces of cats, can infect the materials around their compound. So it's very important to be very careful when you live with cats in the house and you're trying to conceive. So this is a very important part of preconception care. And now the 7th component of preconception care has to do with your past reproductive history. This component too is very important because it will give you the chance to talk to your health provider, that's your midwife or your doctor, about your past reproductive history, so they can know if you had some complications in your past reproductive history, or you had some difficulties or some particular health conditions that caused a miscarriage or that didn't lead to a successful pregnancy. So this component of preconception care will give your doctor and you the chance to come up with a plan in order to ensure that you have a healthy and successful pregnancy in future. So these are the components of preconception care that couples who are trying to conceive a baby needs to be aware of. Okay guys, we have come to the end of this episode about preconception care and its importance. I hope this video was helpful, and please make sure you share this video because it's very important. And I've left a link for some important videos like how to conceive a baby boy or a baby girl in the description box below. So please check out that link, and please don't forget to like my video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you will get all notifications whenever I upload a new video. This has been Boris the Midwife, and see you all in my next video.